Woman spots a suspicious car following her before the driver makes an unexpected move. Workday commutes can be some of the most infuriating, stress-inducing events of the day. There's nothing quite like traffic to spike your blood pressure first thing in the morning. However, most of us would gladly take the gridlock over no wheels at all.
Before we begin, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to our channel, and click the notification bell for more amazing videos.
Many people face the reality of carless living daily, and it isn't easy. For Jaleisha Corbett, walking in the dark alone to get to work on time leads to situations that bring her personal safety into question. One day, a stranger approached her and her life was never the same. When Jaleisha Corbett applied to all the Bojangles fast food restaurants in her area, she was excited to get a call from one of them offering her employment. However, when she read the address, her heart sank a little bit. Her excitement was quickly overshadowed by her realization that the restaurant was farther away than she thought, more than 6 miles from her home, and walking was the only way to get there. The task was daunting, but Corbett took the job anyway. She needed the money and she wasn't afraid of hard work. So, her pedestrian commute began over 2 hours before she was required to clock in. It wasn't easy. She left her house before dark and always came back after the sun had already gone down. Worst of all, the busy road she walked was without a sidewalk. She was sequestered to the shoulder of the road, just feet away from busy traffic. Oftentimes the walk was dangerous. The weather posed a risk, with rain reducing visibility for drivers who might not see Corbett walking. Of course, walking alone in the dark left her vulnerable in other ways too. Still, Corbett made the trek every morning and evening, resulting in 12 miles a day. It was a particularly rainy and cold one morning as she began her journey to work just before 4 a.m. She was taking her usual path when something odd happened. Normally, the traffic zoomed past her at full speed. But, on this morning she felt the presence of a car behind her. This one didn't speed past her, but lingered slowly. She felt the warm reflection of the headlights on her back and she began to get nervous. She avoided turning around, silently hoping the car would just leave her alone. That didn't happen. A few minutes passed and Corbett became more and more nervous, realizing she had no real escape in the event of encountering someone with bad intentions. Finally, she turned around. Much to her surprise, she was greeted by the bright headlights of a police cruiser. Confused, and worried she might be in trouble, she walked up to the driver's side window to figure out what was going on. Sergeant Scott Bass greeted her with a wide smile and an offer of a ride to work. Trusting of his badge and desperate to get out of the rain, Corbett agreed to get into the vehicle. This decision would change her life forever. The ride was awkward and the pair didn't make much conversation as the car made its way to Bojangles. Sergeant Bass told CBS 17 that he had seen Corbett walking before, in her work uniform, and wanted to help her out. The officer dropped her off without incident. But, it certainly wouldn't be the last time they saw each other. Over the following months, Bass would give Corbett dozens of rides. Especially when it was raining or cold, he would step in and drive her to work. The strangers formed a bond, and Sergeant Bass found himself wondering what else he could do for Corbett. He couldn't drive her every day, but he hated the thought of his friend walking 12 miles a day and working 8-hour shifts. The officer reached out to Walmart to secure a bike for Corbett. It would help cut down her commute by more than half. When he delivered the new bike to Corbett, she was speechless. "I didn't think it was real," she exclaimed. This was just the beginning. The pictures of Corbett, Sergeant Bass, and the new bike went viral from the Nash County Sheriff Office's Facebook page. So many people loved the story, and with the thousands of likes and comments, it caught the eyes of someone unexpected. A casting agent for the Steve Harvey Show heard about their story, and called them with an invitation to be on the show. Corbett called Bojangles and let them know she would need time off, and the pair made their way to Chicago for their TV interview. Because Corbett's story had blown up so significantly, Bojangles heard about what their employee was going through. They decided to make some changes. She got a raise and they relocated her to a branch closer to her house. Another surprise was in store. Before she knew it, Corbett was sitting on national television with Sergeant Bass being interviewed by Steve Harvey. Harvey was moved by the story, and awarded her $5,000 courtesy of the show. Corbett was glowing, but there was one more thing before she left. Suddenly, a car rolled onto the stage, complete with a massive bow. Harvey gifted Corbett a brand new Ford Fiesta. Tears began to fall as she immediately hugged both Sergeant Bass and Harvey. She was beyond ecstatic at the generous gift. Thanks to the kindness of strangers, Corbett's hard work was recognized in a monumental way. It's these simple acts of charity that connect us to others. Sometimes, the little things we do come back and influence us years later in surprising ways. That's what happened with Tyrell Wolf. Social media is an essential part of modern communication. But when 18-year-old Tyrell Wolf received an unusual friend request on Facebook one afternoon, he wasn't sure what to make of it. Please share this with your friends and family.